let's add an animated item to Minecraft. All right, we find ourselves back in IntelliJ once more, and in this tutorial, we're going to be adding a custom 3D item that includes an animation to Minecraft. So we've, of course, already seen a custom 3D model for our item. However, now we're going to animate it with the help of GeckoLib once more. If you've not added a GeckoLib to your project, I will link where we actually added it. That was in the first entity tutorial. We're going to link that in the top right corner. And what we're also going to need for this is, of course, a BlockBench. Now, I have already prepared a custom model over here. It bears an uncanny resemblance to our already added staff. I've just basically taken the same 3D model and I've just changed it up a little bit. And we've also animated the block right here. So for this, inside of BlockBench, you're going to need a particular plugin, and that is the GeckoLib Animations util plugin right here. So make sure to install that, and then you should be good to go. Then what you can do is you can make a new GeckoLib animated model right here. Let's just call this test, for example, and then make sure to go to File, GeckoLib Model Settings, and make sure you are on Block Item. And then you should be fine. Then you can add your cubes over here. You can move them around, make them whatever you might want over here. And then what's very important, if you then want to animate certain things, you actually need to add a group, because you can only animate those bones. You can't animate the cubes individually. You have to put those inside of the groups, and then the bones here can be animated. So once again, that is the general idea. Right, let's go back to our already existing item over here. There you go. And let's just take a look at what this entails. So as I've said, I've already created this with all of the bones here, and then I have the inner cube. So this is literally just the gold cube right here that I want to animate. And if I go to the Animate tab on the top right corner here, this one is once again just with a sine wave. And if I play this, you can see it just moves up and down, and that is pretty much the extent of this animation. You can make your animations crazier, more extensive. Of course, you can add multiple ones, just like with the entities. We just have one idle animation here, and that is going to be fine for our purposes. This BlockBench file will, of course, also be available for download in the description below. Right, so how do we export, and what do we actually need? Well, we need three things. We need three JSON files exported from here. We need the GeoJSON file that is responsible for how this model looks like. We need the item model JSON file, that is how it is displayed in your hand. And then we also need the animation JSON file. So first of all, to get the GeoJSON file, we're going to go to File, Export, and then we're going to go to Export GeckoLib Model. We're going to say this, and then you can see animated_item.geojson file. That's exactly right. Save this, and now we have this JSON file saved. Next, the display. So if we go into display, you can see I've already changed some of the values here so that it looks, well, kind of nice, right? This is a third person right, in this case, third person left. You have first person right, first person left, and you can also change it how it looks on the head, kind of weird. The ground inside of a frame. So this might be a little bit too far off the wall, something like that. Maybe it might be a little bit better. And then here, you can also change it how it looks inside of the GUI, or GUI, as I like to call it. If you change the settings to whatever you like, you can then go to File, Export GeckoLib Display Settings, and then you can see this just makes a normal JSON file. This will then be our item model JSON file in just a moment. And then last but not least, we want to go to the Animate tab and click on Animations up here, Export Animations. We can then choose which animations we want to export. Because we only have one, of course, we want to export this, confirm, and then this is going to be called not model.animation, but this is going to be called animated_item.animation.json. And now all three JSON files have been exported. So let's switch over to IntelliJ and let's see what we can do here. So there's actually quite a few things that we need to add, but no worries. All of them together might seem a lot, but individually they are not that crazy. So first of all, we want an animated item class. So inside of our custom package, in the item package, we're going to make a new class called animated item. This will extend the item class, and it will also implement the iAnimatable interface once again from GeckoLib. We'll hover over this implement methods. This is going to implement the methods from the interface, and then we're going to create constructor matching super. Now I'm going to copy over some things. Like always, of course, all of the code as well as the JSON files and the BlockBench file are all available in the description below. GitHub repository and individual just as well. But overall, this is very, very similar to when we animated the custom entities as well. So we need a factory that we're going to return right here. So this .factory is going to be returned right there. The register controller method should also be fairly straightforward. We've seen this before as well. You can see we're just adding a new controller right here. And then, of course, we don't have a predicate yet. But this is, once again, very similar to how we've done it in the entities. I'm just going to copy over the predicate here. Just takes in an animation event right here. And then here, in this case, we're just setting the animation to idle because, of course, this is, once again, we look at the animation right here. This is the name of this animation, idle. Therefore, this is what we're setting it to basically always play. You could, of course, change this in this predicate, right? You can add more animations, stuff like that. That is all for you to discover as well. If you want some more crazy things, highly recommend just playing around with it and seeing where you end up with. And then there's one more very important thing that we want to add. Now, this is going to get us one error because we've not added the renderer yet, but that's going to be fine. And that is the initialize client method. So we're going to just add this, and you can see I don't have an animated item renderer just yet. We're going to add this in a little bit, of course, but this is what we need to initialize the actual item rendering. So this is needed, and no worries about the error. We're going to, of course, fix that once we add the actual animated item renderer class as well. But next thing, we can go into the mod items class and actually register the item. So let's just get, yeah, sure, the citrine staff. Why not? That seems appropriate. Animated underscore item. Then we're just going to item register. That's fine. This is the animated underscore item. Then, of course, this is not a catalyst item, but this is a new animated item. Yeah, animated item, I guess. Yeah, that's exactly right. We're going to need a new item.properties, and we're just going to add it to our creative tab, tutorial tab. This, of course, needs to be a supplier. There you go. And then we're fine. There you go. The animated item now registered as well. And that is pretty much all that we need for the mod items class. Now we need to make the two, well, client classes, so to speak. So in our item package, we're going to right click new package called client. And then inside of there, we're going to create two new classes. One of them is the animated item model, and the other one is going to be the animated item renderer. There you go. Now let's start with the model, as it is very similar to the models, once again, of the entities. This is extends the animated geo model of type animated item this time. Animated item, there you go. And then we're going to hover over this, implement methods. So we're going to implement the three methods, the get model location, get texture location, and get animation file location. And once again, if we, think back to our client classes here in the entity, the model had pretty much the same thing. So you can see just three different resource locations. So I'm going to actually just copy over the one resource location right here. Of course, change this. This is not the raccoon geo. This is the animated item.geo JSON file. This is the model JSON file that we have exported from BlockBench, of course. Same with the other two, more or less. The textures are, of course, a little bit different. This one would be under textures /item /animated underscore item underscore texture. Once again, you can, of course, name this whatever you want. This is just the name that I went with. And the animation file is under animations /animated underscore item .animation.json. There you go. And then the model is done as well. Now let's proceed to the renderer. So this extends the geo item renderer of type, once again, animated item. And then we'll hover over this, create constructor matching super. And then here, instead of the model provider, we're just going to say the new animated item model, and then completely delete the parameter here in the constructor. We can then get rid of this. And then we need to go to the animated item right here. We can then press Alt and Enter to import this class. And now no more errors should be present in any of our three classes. Now, when it comes to the code, that is actually all that we need to do, because everything here is already done and the rest happens with the JSON file. Let's start with the animations, right? Animated underscore item.animation.json. There you go. It's just the idle animation, not too much at all. Then we have the GeoJSON. This is responsible for how the model actually looks like. So the 3D model. Let's also add a translation over here just so that we don't forget it. Let's just duplicate this. This is the animated underscore item. And of course, as a display name would be animated item. There you go. And then last but not least, the item model. Once again, this is also actually exported from BlockBench. So let's just copy this over as well. And there you go. This just determines basically how it looks inside of the GUI, all of that right on the ground. And that should be fine as well. Right, let's not forget to add the texture as well under textures item. And then this is the animated underscore item texture right here. There you go. And that should be pretty much all of the things that we need to add to actually add an animated item. It's not too complicated. The block is going to be a little bit more complicated because it actually does require a block entity, but we'll see that, of course, in the next tutorial. For the time being, let's just go in game and see if it works. All right, we find ourselves in Minecraft once again, and let's just see. There it is, the animated item, and even inside of the inventory, it already animates. And if I take it in my hand, you can see, there we go. It is animated, and I can throw them down, and you can see even on the ground, they're still animated. I really like this, and yeah, that's pretty much all that you need and how easy it can be to add an animated item to Minecraft. Alright, but that would already be it for this tutorial right here. I hope you found this useful and you learned something new. If you did, I would very much appreciate a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials just like this one. Many thanks also to my lovely Patreon supporters for supporting the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. So yeah.